The time is 6 o'clock on November 21st, 2024. The regular board meeting of the Vernon Hills Park District Board of Commissioners is called to order. May I have roll call, please?
Commissioner Geraldo.
Here.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Here.
Commissioner Robbins.
Here.
Vice President Senti.
Here.
President Dorhofer.
Here. Would those present and able please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on the agenda this evening is the omnibus vote agenda. Items under the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. If a separate vote on any one item is desired, it will be pulled from the omnibus vote agenda and voted on separately. Items on the omnibus agenda this evening are the minutes of the regular meeting dated October 24th, 2024, and the payable and payroll through November 21st, 2024, in the amount of $1,335,024.94. May I have a motion to approve the omnibus vote agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo.
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes.
President Dorhofer.
Yes. Superintendent Mitchell, are there any changes to the financial reports for the period ending October 31st, 2024?
No changes.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, the board would like to welcome any public comments. Please limit your public comment to 3 minutes. If there are any remarks to be heard, seeing as there is no one here, we will move on to new business, unfinished business. There is none, so we will move on to new business. Resolution 5-24. May I have a motion to approve Truth in Taxation Resolution 5-24?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes.
President Dorhofer.
Yes. Next item is the Resolution 6-24. May I have a motion to approve SRA CLC Accessibility Improvement Resolution 6-24?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Geraldo.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes.
President Dorhofer.
Yes. Next item is Resolution 7-24. May I have a motion to approve Resolution 7-24, designating Freedom of Information Officers of and for the Vernon Hills Park District?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Geraldo.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes.
President Dorhofer.
Yes. One question is, ordinance 7-24, is that the correct for the truth and taxation?
Correct amount?
No, the ordinance number.
Yes, because it's an ordinance and not a resolution, so.
Gotcha. My bad.
I had the same mistake myself.
That's-
Well, not a mistake, but a question.
Yep, I forgot to ask it earlier, my apologies. Next is ordinance 7-24. I'd like to introduce Aaron Gold of Spear Financial to report the sale of the general obligation bonds. Aaron?
Evening, everyone. Again, my name is Aaron Gold, Independent Municipal Advisor from Spear Financial. Matt and Jessica have invited me out to present the results of the sale of the district's annual rollover bonds.
Excuse me, Aaron, is your mic on? Yep, it is, okay.
I'll get a little closer.
Thank you.
No problem. We held a competitive sale yesterday where we received 5 bids. The low bid was a 3.58% net interest cost bid from Time Bank, Park Ridge, Illinois. The second place bid was a 3.63% bid from Republic Bank of Chicago. As your annual rollover bonds, these are issued general obligation limited tax. So general obligation means that these bonds are paid for by a direct property tax levy and that they are limited or constrained both by how much you can have outstanding in total and then also by how much you levy each year to repay the principal and interest when due. When we're issuing these bonds as annual rollover bonds, we're filling one levy at a time to fund the district's annual rollover bond financing model. As such, the structure of this issue is designed to close on December 5th of this year, with the final maturity on December 1st of 2025. The issue size was increased by $10,725 to $1,231,580 to fully utilize the district's non-referendum bond and interest levying capacity. Framing this interest rate, this bid is down 71 basis points from the district's prior year rollover issue. Same time, the treasuries declined by 91 basis points. In total, net proceeds generated to support your rollover bond financing model have increased by $48,995, which represents a 4.2% rate of growth over the district's last year rollover issue. I therefore recommend that the district's general obligation limited tax park bond series 2024 be awarded to Time Bank Park Ridge, Illinois, revised price of $1,231,580 at a net interest cost of 3.58%. Got a great student over here in Matt. We had a really good conversation about how these bond proceeds are used and how they're applied to your capital financing plan. And it's been a pleasure as always working with Jessica. So thank you for your time.
Very good, thank you. May I have a motion to approve ordinance 7-24, an ordinance providing for the issue of $1,231,580 in general obligation limited tax park bonds, series 2024 of the Vernon Hills Park District, Lake County, Illinois, for the payment of land condemned or purchased for parks for the building, maintaining, improving, and protecting of the same, and the existing land and facilities of said park district, to provide the revenue source for the payment of certain outstanding bonds of the said park district, and for the payment of the expenses incident thereto, provided for the levy of a direct annual tax to pay the principal and interest on said bonds, and authorizing the sale of bonds to the purchaser thereof.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Can I just ask a clarifying question?
Second?
Second,
Discussion?
the number you quoted is different than what's on the agenda? You said 1.3 million, it's 1.2?
1.231580.
And
That is quite common where we post the agenda with an approximate amount because the
Got
sale
it,
is so
okay.
close to the board
Okay,
meeting.
okay, that's fine, just checking. Okay,
But the actual amount is $1,231,580. Commissioner Robbins?
I just have a question. The last time we did this, what was the interest rate that we paid? Do you have that?
Yeah, certainly. It was, 1 second. 4.29%.
4.2, and this is 3.58, you said?
Correct.
Interesting. It's down.
It is, yeah. We've started to, at the start of the rollover cycle, rates were down even more. So the Fed did make that one rate cut in September. We're still waiting to see what they're gonna do with, coming up here in December. But it's, those types of actions directly impact your rollovers because your rollovers are short. So when you do a short bond issue, those short-term interest rates impact how banks are bidding and purchasing and the demand for these types of debt instruments. The longer-term structures, those are, a different animal entirely.
All right, thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo?
yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Vice President Senti?
Yes.
President Dorhofer?
Yes. Thank you, Aaron, appreciate it.
Happy holidays, everyone.
You also.
Is it too early to say that?
No.
Thanksgiving's next week.
Next are reports and communication, Recreation Superintendent Tom Ritter. Tom?
Good evening. Happy early start of winter today.
Yeah.
I didn't put my report because it's sold out so far in advance, but just a reminder that coming up on December 14th will be our annual Polar Express Storytime Train. All 3 trips are sold out, close to 400 people with big waiting lists. So one of our best events every year, so I'm looking forward to that. A few other things coming up in December and January. We'll be placing the mailbox for Santa Claus in front of the Sullivan Center on November 29th, day after Thanksgiving. Everyone's encouraged to write a letter and bring it, and please remember to put a return address on the envelope. We would appreciate that. The mailbox will be in place until December 13th. Our annual New Year's Eve party tends to float what the date is, but this year it will actually fall on December 31st. The event's held at the Sullivan Center from 4 to 6:30. We take 250 people, and it usually sells out. If not, it's very close. So if anyone's interested in doing that, I recommend they get in now before you have to start turning people away. Hopefully that won't happen. But as a reminder, this is an event that includes a DJ who does not just running the dance, but a lot of games and activities on the stage in the Walnut Room. We open up the gymnasium so people can go play and run around and get some exercise. We do some other activities for the kids as well. We'll have ice cream, and the big balloon drop at 6 o'clock is always the big highlight of the evening. So, Winterfest, we had to reschedule last year. We had some weather issues beyond what we would normally accommodate. So, but it's scheduled for Saturday, January 11th this year at Century Park Pavilion from 11 to 2. That is a free event. No need to register, just show up. The big 2 hits every year that we have secured again are the sled dogs, the Free Spirit Sled Dog Demo Team. They bring the dogs up for everybody to visit and pet, and they usually do a couple of actual demonstrations through the park. If there is no snow, they usually put them on wheels and they'll go down the paths. So they still demonstrate either way. And in addition, we also have carriage rides that the horses go through the park with everybody and have a really nice time. In addition to those 2 activities, if weather permits, we'll have ice skating, of course. We'll have sledding. We'll have a campfire with s'mores, and we do like some crafts in the pavilion as well. And that is a snow or no snow event, unless it's really extreme like it was last year. Then we'll reschedule it. And then throughout the year, we do a variety of retro game nights. I've mentioned before Anna Swain, who works here. Her husband is a vintage game collector. He brings out some old stuff, some new stuff, and great memories when I see some of the things he brings out and some of the new stuff that he teaches. But it's just $5, it's drop-in, and he sets up a whole variety of games for people to play. He teaches people, and some people just play on their own. So the next one we're offering is on Saturday, January 18th, here at the Sullivan Center from 4 to 7 p.m. And it's just a $5 admission for the evening. Shifting into some programming things, as we all know, it's getting cold, so nobody's playing pickleball outside anymore. So we offer 2 nights a week in the Sullivan Center gym. Not 2 nights, 2 days. Sundays we offer it from 9 a.m. to noon, and then Monday evenings we offer it from 5:30 to 8:30. Admission is $5. It's $3 for seniors, 62 and older, and then Lakeview Fitness members don't have to pay. It's free. Both the Little Learners Preschool here at the Sullivan Center as well as the Child Care at Lakeview will be hosting winter celebrations in this building in December. The preschoolers will have their event on December 4th, and the Child Care festivities will be on December 6th. And I don't usually mention them. It's just an ongoing program. Kind of gets lost in the shuffle sometimes, but I wanted to highlight the Turtles swim team. We have a really, really good swim team at the Park District. And how long have we been out of Lakeview with the swim team, Johnny? 2 years maybe? 1 or 2 years?
At least 2.
At least 2? I lose track. It goes by so fast. But it was really nice, obviously. It was such a great thing when Vernon Hills High School gave us that opportunity to bring the program into their aquatics facility. And obviously for kids, it takes some of the edge off. When they get to high school, they can say they've already swam at the high school and be comfortable. But the opportunity to move there really freed up a lot for Lakeview Fitness and allowed us to grow. So we have 117 kids on the swim team. There used to be 70 kids at our introductory levels, bronze 1, bronze 2, and silver. And we're able to grow to 90 by going to the high school. We have 30 kids at every level. Throw in 27 more kids at our 2 highest levels to get to our 117. But it's just a nice progression. So as those kids develop, they move up to the higher levels, really helps us build a strong program. They usually do, as I mentioned here, a couple meets per month. It's not required, but we really encourage the kids to do that. So if anyone's ever looking for a swim program, we have a really nice swim team here. And finally, it's basketball season for youth and adults. Jay's been very, very busy putting together bags full of jerseys and basketballs and coaches meetings and drafts, and it's been a basketball month, and finally it's going to come into fruition. The week after Thanksgiving will be when practices start, the week of December 2nd. We currently have, this has changed a little bit, we have 232 kids, so it's 1 more than last year, similar enrollment. That does not count 1st and 2nd graders. They play at a more developmental level. That starts in January. We usually end up a little over 100 kids. I think we have 90 enrolled right now. But it's a good time to thank Hawthorne School District as well, because we can't put 30 or 40 basketball teams in 1 or 2 gyms here. So if it wasn't for them, we couldn't have all the practices that we do and all the games that are played. So kudos to them and their support of our program. And that's my report, unless there's any questions.
Any questions for Tom? Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is Park Superintendent Mark Fleischman. Mike?
Good evening. Some fun things we've done in the past month. We did some controlled prairie burns over at Hartman Park in order to prepare the pollinator garden. Staff are also working on scheduling a burn around the buffer areas around our lakes at Deer Path. If we have time, we would like to get to Century Park. This will help promote the growth of natives and shore up the stabilize the shorelines, as well as keep contaminants out of the water systems. It's what helps really keep our lakes healthy and strong. And it, believe it or not, it feeds into the Des Plaines, which feeds into the Gulf of Mexico. So this stuff is actually very important. On a really good note, the vertical platform lift installation began a few weeks ago. During the installation, there was a power outage at our building. Don't know what caused it. So it delayed the installation a bit, but as of today, we have full approval. It's ready to be used. We're all set. So staff was trained on how to use it, and it's a very nice feature and a nice thing we do, and it's actually a really nice lift. So if you get a chance and you want to take a look at it, please do. The Park District is participating in the annual holiday light displays around town. The Sullivan Center will have several light displays, more than in the years past, along Aspen Drive, as well as Lakeview Fitness Center. So if you would like to find locations for all the displays around town that Public Works does and that the Park District assists with, it is on the Vernon Hills website. The Village of Vernon Hills will be hosting the annual holiday tree lighting ceremony at Century Park South this year. The event will take place on November 30th at 4:30 p.m. The event used to take place at the Vernon Hills Municipal Golf Course and has switched venues with some renovations done there. So please come celebrate with us and remember to dress warmly. And then the last thing is we have gotten some reports of coyotes in the parks. As you know, at the end of autumn is the dispersal season for coyotes. So during this time, pups born in the early spring are old enough to venture out. Coyote sightings will most likely take place or occur down the CB ditch from Hawthorne Melody to Sullivan Woods, so quite a bit of our parks. Please remember to keep your dogs on leashes at all times and do not turn your backs to coyotes. For more information, please feel free to contact the Parks Department, IDNR, or the Lake County Forest Preserve. That is my report.
Any questions for Mark? Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda, Marketing Communications Manager, Cheryl Buman. Cheryl?
Good evening, everyone. Our winter spring 2025 guide is out. It's on display in our lobbies. It was mailed to our Vernon Hills residents late last week. Resident registration is ongoing, and non-resident registration begins November 26th. The D73 newsletters, I used to send them like one a month, but it's been so really nice working with them this year. Any information we have, they're so welcome to get it, and they include it in their principal letters, and it's being sent actually more than once a month. So any information that we have that benefits the families, I send right to the school, and I always get a confirmation that they're including it. So it's been really nice working with the school, as always, but particularly this year, it's been really great. Our new homeowner postcards, so 23 postcards have been delivered to new homeowners in September, Vernon Hills residents. We had our first person come in and pick up their tote bag. So we're hoping for some more. So if you are a new homeowner out there watching this, please bring your postcard in to get some goodies from the Park District. Our geofencing campaign at Lakeview just began. It's focusing on the pool and spa, our strength training classes, our equipment, and personal training with the emphasis on Lakeview Fitness being a community gym. We did this campaign last year, so we did remove some fences that didn't perform well. We did get a report on everywhere we fenced, how they did, and we added some new ones. So we are focusing on local gyms, athletic, retail stores, Whole Foods, health-focused type of grocery stores. And this year we added Forest Preserve trailheads, South Lake CLC campus, and the Hawthorne Mall. So we will get monthly reports on how we're performing, and the ads do change too. This will go on for the next 4 months. And we'll get reports on who comes to Lakeview Fitness, who walks in from all of this, and where they're coming from. So it's see how it goes. Last year it was successful, so we're hoping for even a better year this year. I wanted to thank all the residents, staff who donated to our Veterans Coat Drive. This was a chamber-wide coat drive. We had them come twice, and they picked up large bags, many bags of coats. So that just ended, although you are still able to still contact the Midwest Veterans organization if you have more coats. But for our purposes at the Sullivan Community Center, we are done collecting coats. And just today, our boxes were put out for our annual Toys for Tots drive. So you can donate new, unwrapped toys suitable for kids, newborn through 16 years old. They'll be dropped off either here at Sullivan Community Center or at Lakeview Fitness. Our last date to donate will be December 13th, and then they'll get picked up and donated to the needy children in our community. I put a lot about our social media and statistics in your reports, but overall, our fall events, our Halloween themed for both our district with the house decorating and for Lakeview Fitness with their Squattober and their Fit Fest, it really did well overall for our district. People really were engaging with our videos and the house photos that they submitted, and then people wanted to see which houses won, so then we contacted the homeowners, and they were happy to give out their addresses. So overall, for Lakeview Fitness in our district here, it was a great month for social media and getting our residents engaged with what we're doing here. Just today, if you have a chance, Ruth, who runs our Little Learners Childcare, sent us really cute pictures of the kids playing in their first snow. So those have already been posted, super cute kids. So if you have a chance, take a look at the Facebook page. Our website, same with social media for Lakeview website and our district website. Overall, people just love the fall events. So they both really increased. We had more people looking at our pages, more sessions. I did put in here a new feature from the reporting was what's the best day and time people look at our website. So for both of us, both websites, Mondays is the day. Monday's the day to get all your information in there. So Monday mornings at 10 for our district website, and then Monday afternoons at 2 for Lakeview website. And I do want to note that over the past month, the Veterans membership page on the Lakeview Fitness website did receive 59 views. So we do offer a veteran membership. That is my report for the evening. Any questions?
Any questions? Sure. Commissioner Sente?
I was just wondering for the new homeowner packet, if besides the goodies that they get, if we maybe give them a flyer of some of our events that are coming up in the next quarter, or maybe to a reasonable degree, maybe a pass for something to get them to an event or in our facilities?
What we're doing, we started this a year ago. We did have a whole packet, a big envelope where we would put paper passes, paper guides. It was just getting expensive because it was expensive to mail out. So we changed to an oversized large postcard, and there is a QR code that leads you that you can go to Lakeview Fitness and get your free 5-day pass. So this is our second year trying just the oversized postcard versus mailing everything out.
But we do include a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. Next item, Facility Manager Lacey Marinenko.
Good evening. So for our monthly stats, last month we had 1,008 individuals visit the facility, accumulating a total of 8,309 visits. So our members are averaging about 8 visits per month. I did want to call out that we have seen a little bit of a decrease in memberships over the last couple months, but this is normal for this time of year, and we do have things in place that we're expecting a big increase as the months get colder. Now that we had our first snow, we're expecting a lot more memberships. As Cheryl mentioned, we do have our geofencing campaign that we expect to bring in a lot of new people. And then I wanted to call out in the program guide, we have the 5-visit voucher that they can actually cut off and bring in, and they can come visit us for 5 visits for free. So we do have things in place. Lakeview hours for Thanksgiving, we will be closed on Thursday, and then we have shortened hours on Friday. We'll be open from 7 to 3. For programming, we're hosting our first Flick and Float for the winter, so we'll be playing Happy Feet. And that will be on December 7th. The movie starts at 6:30. We'll have a half an hour of open swim before the movie starts. On December 13th, we have Holiday Spirit Zumba. So we'll have a festive Zumba class and a cookie exchange for anybody who's interested. Winter Solstice Yoga is on December 21st with Ben. This is celebrating the shortest day of the year. And then our Tai Chi classes continue with Master Shi on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. For group exercise and personal training, in October we had a group exercise survey go out. We had 145 unique responses to the survey. Overall, it was very positive feedback, so our members seem very happy, but we're using a lot of this information to make changes going forward. And then we already are able to implement some of these changes in the group exercise schedule that's coming up starting December 2nd. And then we have a new personal trainer that just joined the team. His name is Michael Colander. He comes to us with 25 years of experience, so we're excited for him to get started. And that's my report, unless there's any questions.
Any questions for Lacey? Thank you very much. Next, Finance and HR Superintendent Jessica Mitchell. Jessica?
Hello. In October, the district received $315,494 of property tax revenue. The total year-to-date taxes received is $6,312,525, or 98.49% of the 2023 adjusted property tax extension. As of October 31st, the district has $9,176,000 in cash and investments. There is $4,995,000 invested in 24 certificates of deposit and treasury bills with various maturing dates over the next 60 months. And $4,181,000 is available for cash flow purposes. In October, all excess cash was invested in Fifth Third Bank Money Market Fund at 3.93%, or at money market funds with investment brokers with 4.5 to 5% interest rates. Upon review of investing opportunities during the district banking transition, investment brokers that we will be utilized for district investments moving forward will center around PMA, MBS Securities, and Wintrust MaxSafe. We have worked with all three already. However, we'll put more investment funds towards Wintrust and hold off on further investments with Fifth Third Bank Securities. Since the bank transitioned to Wintrust, much of the rates they provided and sponsorship amount that they gave us in the RFP was centering around how much we would invest with them. In October, capital expenditures totaled $797,000. Expenses included $21,000 spent on Hartman Park renovation, $459,000 was spent on the Lakeview Fitness roof, and $317,000 for the new roof here at the Sullivan Center. Since sending my board report, the district did receive our DCEO grant reimbursement for Lashin tennis courts. That amount was $213,312, and that will be recorded in our November financials. The comprehensive annual financial report for fiscal year 2024 was filed with Lake County Clerk's Office on October 25th. A copy of the report is available on our website, and public notice was printed in the Pioneer Lake on October 31st. Lauterbach and Amon have continued to assist the district with proper filings for the fiscal year 24 audit. The annual comprehensive financial report will be filed with the state comptroller before the end of November, meeting our deadline, as well as meeting all EMA requirements. Also, the audit was submitted this month to the Government Finance Officers Association for review. I'd like to thank Aaron Gold and his team at SPEAR, also Chapman and Cutler, for assisting the district with the general obligation Limited Tax Park Bond Series 2024. A couple other things. The tax levy ordinance 8-24 will be on the December board meeting agenda for adoption. The tax levy ordinance filing deadline and required certification must be provided to the county clerk no later than the last Tuesday in December. As far as human resources, I just have a few updates. Superintendent of Finance, so myself and our HR manager attended two different legal trainings. In November, I attended the IPR Legal Symposium, and our HR manager, Shauna Hedke, attended the HR Source Employment Law Conference. So there were many legal updates that we were able to review at that time and see how they need to apply to the district to keep us compliant. Shauna did provide an online training for the district supervisors on child labor laws that are going to be effective on January 1st, 2025. And you may be aware that the adult minimum wage of Illinois is increasing from $14 to $15 per hour on January 1st. So supervisors have been reminded to submit whatever payroll forms that they have so that we can have that corrected, so everyone can be paid correctly, and these minimum wage increases are accounted for in our budget. That concludes my report unless there are any questions.
Any questions for Jessica?
Question.
Commissioner Robbins?
Jessica, in your report, you say we've collected 98.49%, so we're still due around $100,000. Do we follow up with Lake County? Is it incumbent upon them to collect for us, or?
Yeah, there's not, at least in my experience, we haven't really pushed and asked, what is going to be done in order for us to get 100%. I think in the past it's been close to 99-something%, so we've been very close and still have opportunity to have a payment come in still. But it's typically not us, kind of rallying for those funds.
Okay, because it is, it's $100,000, which better in our bank account than someone else's.
Thank you very much. Next, Executive Director Matt Laporte. Welcome.
Good evening. Oh, good evening. Still an interesting ring, huh? It's my pleasure to be here tonight. I just want to thank all the staff for helping me get up to speed as quick as possible. So I just wanted to provide an update on our elections. We had the final day of filing on Monday, the 18th, and we only had one candidate, and that is current Commissioner Jacobs. There will be no lottery. We have until January 23rd to certify the ballot and submit that to the county, but we'll have that out after the objection period ends on the end of the day on Monday. Letters to our local officials from the state and county were submitted on behalf of the board and myself, providing an introduction and congratulations for any recent elections and just a general introduction to myself and my position. It also coincided with the arrival of our program guide, so we submitted a copy of that to them so we can get some awareness of the things that we are doing. Big thank you to the staff and our contractors to complete all the site work out at Hartman Park. We are in the final stages of getting our OSLAD reimbursement started. So we have one more payable that we need to receive that'll be brought to the board in December. And then we have a site visit that we have to have scheduled, and then our audit, and we'll be close to the end on that and can file for reimbursement. Superintendent Mitchell provided an update on our reimbursement for the Lashton Park. We are expecting the reimbursement for the DCO grant for the Lakeview Fitness Center in the next few weeks as well. And we have our fingers crossed on an OSLAD application for Grosse Pointe. We have not heard anything quite yet definitive, but we're hopeful by the end of the year. Staffing, just a reminder, we have our annual employee appreciation event on December 13th. We will have longevity awards for our full-time staff, and then at the December meeting, we will invite our part-time staff to celebrate them. And then last, our contract with Stuckey Construction Company has been signed. It was reviewed by our legal representative from Tressler, and we expect that project to begin in the spring. That concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Aren't we supposed to give you a hard time your first meeting? Stump the new director. We're going to be kind. We're happy you're here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Matt. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, Commissioner Committee reports and communications. There are none. So we'll move to board correspondence. Again, there are none. So we'll move to Commissioner comments. Commissioner Jacobs.
I have
no comments other than happy Thanksgiving and drive careful in the snow.
Commissioner Geraldo?
Ditto.
Commissioner Robbins?
Just to Matt, welcome aboard.
Commissioner Sente?
Echoing the same. Happy holidays and welcome to Matt.
And finally, for myself, the same, and I'd like to thank Commissioner Sente, Executive Director Laporte, and Finance HR Superintendent Mitchell for joining me at the legal symposium. Appreciate your taking that time and doing that on behalf of the district. So with that, we will move to, I haven't addressed all items on the agenda. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Geraldo?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Vice President Senti?
Yes.
President Dorhofer?
Yes, the time is 6:36. The regular meeting is now adjourned.